From the Middle East to the Caribbean, the world is facing a cascade of breaking news stories that will shape the next 24 hours. In this video, we'll break down the top 10 most important global events from the last day. The escalating tensions in the Middle East, a new peace deal between the US and Iran, and a devastating fire in the Dominican Republic are just a few of the stories making headlines. Here are today's top 10 stories you need to know. In a surprising turn of events, Luigi Mangione's legal team has withdrawn their plan to pursue a psychiatric defense in his New York State murder trial. This decision comes as the case surrounding the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson continues to draw significant media attention. The withdrawal of the psychiatric defense could potentially alter the outcome of the trial, as it shifts the focus away from mental health issues to other aspects of the case. Legal experts are weighing in on the implications of this change, indicating that it may lead to a more straightforward trial process. As the case progresses, all eyes will be on the courtroom, where the proceedings will highlight the complexities of the legal system and the strategies employed by defense attorneys. The upcoming days are critical as the trial unfolds and the prosecution and defense present their arguments. The outcome may set a precedent for similar cases in the future. In a significant development for marine conservation, great white sharks in the Mediterranean Sea have been classified as critically endangered. This alarming status comes as sightings of these majestic creatures have become increasingly rare, raising serious concerns for marine biodiversity. The decline in great white shark populations is indicative of broader environmental issues affecting marine ecosystems. Conservationists are calling for immediate action to protect these sharks and their habitats, highlighting the importance of preserving biodiversity in the face of human activities. The Mediterranean is a vital ecosystem, and the loss of top predators, like the great white shark, can have cascading effects on marine life. As awareness grows, there is hope that concerted efforts will be made to establish protective measures and promote sustainable practices in the region. The coming years will be crucial for the survival of great white sharks and the health of the Mediterranean Sea. The Ebola crisis in parts of Africa is continuing to escalate, with reports indicating that the outbreak is spreading rapidly. Health authorities are facing significant challenges in containing the virus, leading to growing concerns about public health in the affected regions. As communities grapple with the impact of the outbreak, healthcare systems are being stretched thin, struggling to provide adequate care and resources. The international response is crucial as aid organizations mobilize to support containment efforts and provide necessary medical assistance. The situation remains dire, with fears of further outbreaks if measures are not swiftly implemented. As the world watches this crisis unfold, the importance of global cooperation in addressing health emergencies is underscored. The coming weeks will be critical in determining the effectiveness of response strategies and whether the outbreak can be controlled before it spreads further. In a groundbreaking move, Cuban lawmakers have adopted nearly 200 free market reforms aimed at revitalizing the economy. This initiative comes in response to a severe crisis exacerbated by a U.S. oil blockade that has stifled growth and created widespread hardship. These reforms seek to open the island's economy to private enterprise and attract foreign investment. The government's decision marks a significant shift in policy, as Cuba has long maintained a strict communist economic framework. By implementing these changes, the Cuban government hopes to address long-standing economic challenges, such as food shortages and limited access to basic goods. The international community is watching closely as the success of these reforms could reshape Cuba's relationship with the global economy. If implemented effectively, this could lead to improved living conditions for many Cubans. The coming months will be critical in assessing the impact of these reforms and their potential to transform Cuba's economic landscape. In response to escalating protests and a blockade crisis, Bolivia's President Rodrigo Paz has declared a state of emergency. This declaration comes after weeks of unrest that have paralyzed the country's economy, leading to critical shortages of essential goods. The protests, fueled by dissatisfaction with government policies, have reached a boiling point, prompting the government to take drastic measures. The blockade has significantly impacted transportation and supply chains, exacerbating the difficulties faced by ordinary citizens. The state of emergency allows the government to implement stricter measures to restore order and ensure the provision of essential services. As tensions rise, there are concerns about the potential for further violence and unrest. The situation remains fluid, and the government's response will be crucial in determining the direction of the protests. The international community is closely watching Bolivia, hoping for a peaceful resolution that addresses the underlying issues while maintaining stability. A tragic collision between two trains north of London has resulted in at least one death and numerous injuries. Emergency services were called to the scene, where they are conducting a thorough investigation to determine the cause of this devastating crash. This incident marks one of the deadliest rail accidents in recent UK history, raising significant concerns about rail safety and infrastructure. Investigators will be examining the circumstances leading to the collision, including the condition of the tracks and the signaling systems in place. The implications of this tragedy extend beyond the immediate loss of life, as it prompts a national conversation about the safety of public transportation systems. The government and rail operators are under pressure to ensure that such incidents do not occur again. As details emerge, the focus will be on how to improve safety measures and restore public confidence in rail travel. The upcoming days are crucial as authorities work to uncover the facts surrounding this incident and implement necessary changes. A catastrophic fire broke out at the Viva Wyndham Dominicus Beach Resort in Bayahibe, Dominican Republic, resulting in one fatality and the evacuation of nearly 1,700 guests. The blaze spread rapidly through the luxury resort, prompting emergency services to respond swiftly. The affected area has become a focal point for international attention, as the resort is a popular destination for tourists. The rapid evacuation was critical in preventing further casualties, but the loss of life highlights the potential dangers of such disasters. The incident raises questions about fire safety protocols in tourist facilities and the preparedness of emergency services in handling large-scale emergencies. As investigations into the cause of the fire begin, the impact on the local tourism industry is already being felt. This incident could have long-lasting repercussions for the region, which relies heavily on tourism for economic stability. The local government is expected to conduct thorough inspections of similar establishments to ensure safety regulations are enforced. In a dramatic escalation, Iran's top military command has announced plans to close the Strait of Hormuz to all vessel traffic. This announcement comes amid ongoing tensions and alleged violations of a ceasefire agreement by the U.S. and Israel. Iran perceives these actions as a direct threat to its security and sovereignty, particularly as Israel continues to conduct airstrikes in Lebanon. The Strait of Hormuz is a crucial choke point for global oil shipments, making this threat particularly alarming for international markets and trade. The geopolitical ramifications are profound, as the closure could lead to soaring oil prices and heightened military tensions in the region. This situation tests the fragile peace agreement recently signed with the United States, as Iran's actions could provoke a strong response from both the U.S. and its allies. As the world holds its breath, the potential for conflict looms large, and diplomatic efforts may be the only way to avert a crisis. The coming days will reveal whether Iran will follow through on its threat and how other nations will respond. In a significant diplomatic development, President Trump has officially signed a preliminary agreement with Iran intended to bring an end to their long-standing war. This 14-point memorandum aims to open the Strait of Hormuz for cargo ships and oil tankers, restoring crucial trade routes that have been disrupted for years due to conflict. Historically, the Strait of Hormuz has been a vital passage for approximately one-fifth of the world's oil supply, making stability in this region essential for global energy markets. However, the deal has faced criticism from various quarters, with many viewing it as a mere return to the pre-war status quo. Critics argue that it does not adequately address the ongoing regional tensions, especially with Israel and Lebanon continuing to exchange fire. The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz is a vital step, as it is a key artery for global oil shipments. The implications of this agreement could reverberate throughout the global economy, potentially lowering oil prices and boosting international trade. As the situation develops, analysts are closely monitoring the potential for further unrest. The coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether this agreement can foster genuine stability and pave the way for a more peaceful Middle East. Despite a tentative ceasefire agreement, violence has erupted once again between Israel and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Recent Israeli airstrikes have tragically resulted in the deaths of at least 5 people in Gaza, including a child. These strikes were a direct response to Hezbollah launching over 50 projectiles at Israeli forces, demonstrating the volatile nature of the region. Among the casualties was a local conservationist, Mona Khalil, who was killed while attempting to protect a turtle nesting site on a beach, highlighting the human cost of this ongoing conflict. The resurgence of hostilities poses a significant threat to a fragile peace process, particularly the U.S.-Iran deal aimed at ending the war and stabilizing the region. This renewed violence raises alarming questions about the viability of diplomatic negotiations, as both sides seem entrenched in their positions. The risk of wider conflict looms larger with each escalation, drawing in regional and global powers. The international community is closely monitoring the situation, with calls for renewed dialogue growing louder. As regional leaders weigh their next steps, there is a critical need for a concerted effort to de-escalate tensions. The coming days will be pivotal in determining whether a path to peace can be forged or if the cycle of violence will continue unabated. Thank you for watching our roundup of the top stories from around the world. Which story shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more news updates.